Hi everyone, my name is Kristen Corona. This is Odin, and that's Thor. I guess I want to say hi too. So the movie I chose to analyze is actually both about an alien and a monster. It's called The Thing. It was released in 2012, and it was directed by John Carpenter. So The Thing is about 12 American men who go to this remote research station in Antarctica, and then some Norwegian researchers come and visit the Americans and find a huge alien ship that has been buried under the ice for thousands of years. They also find the body of one of its inhabitants, an alien monster. When thawed, the movie proves to be a horrific and not to mention carnivorous, shape-shifting being, and is capable of eating whoever it comes across. Worse, when the monster actually eats it, it assumes the shape of the being, and check this out, it somehow is able to take over their memory. So as a result, men can't trust each other anymore. There are these terrifying scenes of the monster and the researchers attempting to eliminate it. However, we don't really learn much about the monster itself. Soon it becomes apparent that the men have to do whatever it takes, really, to stop the thing from getting to civilization. And they come armed with flamethrowers, shotguns, a hot copper needle, and they're trying to keep this thing contained, lest it mean the end of the world. So what about this movie represents good science? First, scientists have found organisms that live in extreme environments, such as the cold of Antarctica. They are broadly called extremophiles. We learned a bit about this last week. But microorganisms that can grow and reproduce at cold temperatures, typically between 15 degrees and negative 20 degrees Celsius, are called psychrophiles. These environments are nearly everywhere on Earth, since a large proportion of the surface of the Earth experiences temperatures between this range. Examples include polar regions, mountains, and deep ocean waters. Although many mammals live in these environments, mammals have a central heating system that other organisms don't. That means that they can maintain a fairly constant internal temperature despite changing external temperatures. Other organisms that have interested researchers in recent years are animals that can tolerate large amounts of their bodies being frozen and then thawed. There is an Antarctic nematode, more commonly called a frog. There's also some evidence of animals that can morph or shift their shape. The most common of these is the mimic octopus. So the octopus is remarkable because it can escape predators by mimicking other sea animals. It mimics venomous sole, lionfish, sea snakes, sea anemones, and jellyfish. For example, the mimic is able to imitate a sole by pulling its arms in, flattening it to a leaf-like shape, and increasing speed using a jet-like propulsion that resembles a sole. When spreading its legs and lingering on the bottom of the ocean, its arms actually trail behind it to stimulate the lionfish's fins. It's actually pretty amazing if you see it. So what about this movie represents bad science? First, there's one scene about halfway through the movie when we see one of the researchers doing some high-tech calculations to try to determine the probability that a team member was infected, as well as if the thing could reach civilization, and if it could, how long it would take to assimilate into the world. The math of the movie was pretty accurate on the team infection rate. There was a 75% chance that a team member was infected. But the researcher estimated that it would take about 3 years for the creature to assimilate and destroy the world. And it's more like a matter of days, realistically. Second, the assumption that if the thing can't be contained, life as we know it is over. The problem is it couldn't actually be contained. The thing had many places to hide from the researchers in Antarctica. It's a really big space. So Antarctica has plenty of life forms knocking about, including large animals, plants, fungi, and hundreds of species of phytoplankton. And true, most of Antarctica's life is found in its surrounding oceans and islands. However, there are very simple life forms like fungi, lichen, and bacteria that can be found inland throughout the year. That, along with the leftover cells at Outpost 31, gives the thing several places to hide. So, what really happened in the film? Well, the thing was never really contained. There was massive contamination of the U.S. outpost and its Norwegian counterpart, and there was thing blood all over both camps. Not to mention all of the shed cells that fell off the infected bodies over the few days the imitations walked about. So that's altogether makes the scientific accuracy of the thing a bit hopeless, actually. If a creature like the Thing did manage to take over Earth, it would be impossible to stop, and it would be, simply said, a planet of things. From the moment it made its way to our atmosphere, whether it was excavated by scientists in the Antarctic or it thawed itself out due to continental drift and climate change.